through our marriage, Victor and I are learning so much about God's character and who He is. So you want to share your testimony? You both have to speak.
It's not a huge testimony, but it's just to show the, I started to see God in a little bit of a different way this week.
Last week, yeah.
Well, yeah, this past week, from the way that I always view God, and I think in the world and even within Christianity, the way we look at God is, because in the world, you always, if you do good things, you get rewarded. Like your parents.
I need to translate.
Oh, yeah. So in the world, when you do good things, you get rewarded. If you do bad things, then you get penalized. So when I was in Australia my cousin and I were living together in Australia, and we used to talk about, we used to see the way people treated their children. And sometimes we see children that are really spoiled and, like non-disciplined and all that. And so we used to talk to each other, okay, when we get our children, this is the way we're going to be. We're going to be strict, everything, because, I got, my cousin calls it an engineering mind. So everything has got to be exactly the way it should be. So when my cousin had kids, well, my cousin passed away a few years ago of cancer, but when he had children, and I saw the way that his children were, and then I started to think, he didn't keep our word. It seems like his children are spoiled, and he's not disciplining them the way that we talk. So now that I'm married, I don't have children, but it's just when I'm with Sayaka, I'm finding out that I'm not as engineering mind as I used to think. So one example, before we got into a bad argument, and I said some hurtful things to Sayaka, and so she started crying, and then I was upset and angry with her, and then after a little while, she was just crying, and then she came and she started hitting me on my back. And so when that happened, it broke my heart, and I felt so hurt. So I got up and I hugged her, and so instead of being upset with her, I found that it really broke my heart that she did that. So this past week, when we woke up from bed, I was really thirsty, and Sayaka has this mixture that her mom used to make, which has become my favorite drink, where we just get lemons and you grate it into and put it in, mix it with honey, and you put it in the fridge. And then when you want to drink, then you just carbonate the water, and then you just add it to water, and then you can eat the whole lemon with the peels, and it tastes really good. So I woke up and I was really thirsty, so I made myself, I went and I carbonated the water, I mixed the lemons inside, and I put everything back in the fridge. And so I took one sip, and then I was doing something on the table, and I wanted to drink my drink. So when I turned around, Sayaka got out of bed, and she just came straight and she drank my whole drink that was there. But when I went to get some more to drink, it was just almost completely empty. There was only a little bit in the cup, and Sayaka went back to bed. So I went, but when that happened, it was strange because I felt so much. I was so happy that she could do something like that. That instead of coming and asking if she could drink my drink, she just had the liberty to come and drink all my drink when I'm still thirsty. So I was so happy, and I just wanted to hug her for doing something that's supposed to be wrong. So I told Sayaka, I said, now I can see that if I had children, how I would really spoil my children, that they would be the worst. She said they would just be fat kids, just eating, and non-disciplined kids. And I think so. I think that's so true. I'll be worse than my cousin. So, but Sayaka, every time I talk to Sayaka, and this is a pattern that I've noticed since I met Sayaka, that when I start to talk to Sayaka about something important, she always looks back to God. She always references it to God. So she said to me that God is like that. So when she said that God is like that towards us, my mind, because I have like an engineering type of mind, that was always my major that I was going through in college. But I would think about it logically, is it what she's saying real? And then I realized that all the love that's in the world comes from God. We never made love. Love never came from us. All the love that's in the world is in the world because of God. It's God's love that's in us. And if God is love, how much more, does God love us? Than, if I could love Sayaka for doing something like that and spoil her for doing, how much more spoiled are we, by God who is love. So Matthew, this one's easy to remember, Matthew 7:11. Matthew 7:11 says, so if you sinful people know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father give good gifts to those who ask him? So, and then, so we were talking, and then um, there was something funny that came up, but then the thought came really strongly, and I really felt like it was God. We were talking and laughing about something, and I felt like God was adding to it, and the woman that you gave me, and it made the joke more funny. And then, so we just started thanking God and saying to him that, he's the God whose lemonade we can drink. So we've been using that all week, the type of God the way God is towards us is he can make lemonade and be thirsty, and we can just come and drink all his lemonade and he'll hug us. And then, but he also jokes, he also jokes, with us. So he's very close to us. So that's what we've been using, for the whole week, that this God that we serve is a God that, he can make his lemonade. Jesus can make his lemonade and be really thirsty and turn away to do something. And we can come and drink all his lemonade, and he'll love us. He'll be so happy. If I can be really happy to see what Sayaka did, how much more will Jesus be happy when we drink his lemonade? So God is a good God. He's better than we really know.
本当に神様は私たち